We have all heard the term self-esteem, and some of us probably wish ours was higher. But what exactly is self-esteem? The term was first posed by 19th century psychologist William James, who considered it to be the ratio of successes to pretensions. In other words, the larger the distance is between your current self and your ideal self, the lower your self-esteem will be. In contrast, the smaller the gap is between your current self and your ideal self, the higher your self-esteem will be. A quote from James that parallels this definition states, "There is but one cause of human failure, and that is man's lack of faith in his true self." William James was a pioneer of what is now modern-day psychology. In his book, Principles of Psychology, he posed an actual formula for self-esteem, which is self-esteem equals successes divided by pretensions. He argued that many people only focus on their expectations and set the bar way too high. This leads to constantly being unsatisfied with life and never appreciating any of your successes. Many of us fall into this trap of always wanting more. We tell ourselves that we will be happy when we get this thing or achieve that goal, but whenever the goal is achieved, the high self-esteem that comes with it is short-lived. A quote from the Principles of Psychology states, "Not that I would not, if I could, be both handsome and fat and well-dressed, and a great athlete, and make $1 million a year, be a wit and a lady killer, as well as a philosopher, a philanthropist, statesman, warrior, and African explorer. But the thing is simply impossible. To make any one of them actual, the rest must more or less be suppressed. So the seeker of his truest, strongest, deepest self must review their list carefully, and pick out the one on which to stake his salvation. All other selves thereupon become unreal." To ensure a healthy level of self-esteem, James suggested setting realistic goals. We cannot be all things all the time and must set our goals accordingly. He knew this truth all too well. Upon completing his doctorate in 1869, he actually contemplated suicide. Only after choosing to believe in free will over determinism was he able to cure his low self-esteem and depression. Psychoanalyst Abraham Maslow had his own thoughts about self-esteem. In his famous Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs, esteem is one of the 5 pillars in regards to living a successful life. He suggested 2 different versions of esteem, which were higher and lower. Obtaining the lower version of self-esteem is striving for things like fame, status, and vanity, all of which are based on external opinion. Obtaining the higher version of self-esteem is striving towards confidence, wisdom, authenticity, all of which are internal opinions. Striving for this higher version of self-esteem will bring you closer to self-actualization, according to Maslow, which is at the top of his hierarchy of needs. A self-actualized person has embraced their flaws while simultaneously capitalizing on their strengths in order to become the greatest version of their self. A quote from Maslow states, "What is necessary to change a person is to change his awareness of himself." Another quote by him states, "If you plan on being anything less than what you are capable of being, you will probably be unhappy all the days of your life." Perhaps the most modern way to determine your self-esteem is through the Rosenberg self-esteem scale, created by psychoanalyst Morris Rosenberg. This test consists of 10 survey-like questions which are answered using a 4-point Likert type scale. The maximum amount of points is 40, which would indicate extremely high self-esteem. On the other hand, if you score below 15, it means you have considerably low self-esteem. I will post a link to the test in the description. Some of the questions are scored backwards, so a strongly agree response could be 3 points for one question and 0 for the other one. Make sure you are striving towards some goal every single day. Small accomplishments like keeping your house clean and doing your next rep at the gym can have a positive effect on your self-esteem. If you are interested in improving your daily routine, I suggest reading The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. If you like my videos, please remember to subscribe to my channel.